Hello folks, Paul here, UK Rails and More. Hope you're all keeping safe and well. The weather in the UK has been fairly atrocious today, but if you want to see how I built the new baseboards for the exciting new modular layout that I'm going to be putting together, stay tuned and I'll show you how. Just thought to bring you back for a quick update on the baseboard build videos, and the observant amongst you will see that we've got some track down as well, albeit it's just very loosely placed down in position. If you want to know how I built these boards, please have a look at the first baseboard video, and if you'd like to know a little bit more about what I'm trying to achieve with this modular 00 gauge layout, then please have a look at some of the planning videos, and that will kind of get you up to date. But basically what we've got here, we've got the 4 basic baseboards. We've got 2 that are completed at the front here, the ones that are slightly damp because I've had it out in the rain, unfortunately, with the showery weather we've got here in the UK. But as you see, the two at the beginning, the nearest to us, are both 2 foot by 4 foot, and they're basically just being battened and screwed quite simply and straightforwardly on those battens. The 2 at the rear are 1 foot by 4 foot each, and as you see, those are not completed as yet. I have built the frames for them, the batten frames, but the reason is they're going to be on higher ground, so the reason I've just temporarily put them on some plinths under there that you can see. Okay, the idea is that why I wanted to just get some of this track down was just to try and work out ideas so that I can basically work out the plan for how I'm actually going to cut the wood to get the elevations. I did ask a few of your opinion here. This is just simulating basically a 4-line station at this end, and what we're talking about here is that all of this track that you see, the first stage of it, I will show you the next in a moment, is all going to be on an embankment which will be a similar height to the back embankment of the lockdown layout. That will be the first level that it's all going to be built on. That will be a kind of a main line going through there. What I'll then have, which I'll show you in a moment, is I'm going to have a higher level embankment that's going to be quite a bit higher, and that will branch off at one point to cross this line as well, and also cross a river. Now if you have a look at my Scenic inspiration video, the first one I did, that gives you an idea of a location in Heaton Mersey where there is this double crossing, or there used to be historically a double crossing over the River Mersey. So that'll give you an idea of where I've got some of the inspiration for that. So yeah, I thought I'd just lay first of all the lower level main line. There will be an upper level Peak District line effectively, or go into the Peak District at one point. But yeah, this is the lower level, and it just helps get an idea of it first of all, so you can see how the 2 lines basically integrate. The idea is the river would be going somewhere from there, and then there'll be one crossing there and a further crossing in a short while. Okay, so I'll bring you back in a moment for a bit more of an update. Bye for now. Just as a bit of a thank you really, and a bit of an update, you'll remember, a few of you, my current subscribers, will know that I'd asked for your ideas a short while ago, a few videos back, as to whether I should have a split height station at that end, and I'm very grateful for all of the feedback. A lot of people said that that would be a good idea and it would look quite good. I did think that operationally it might be an idea, so you'd have the station before the split, rather than 2 lines going off, one at the back and then this one here with a station just beyond it. Albeit that in the real world there are places like, for instance, New Mills, where you will have 2 different stations in quite close proximity. I did think about that, and I really like the idea of it, but just in practice a little bit, the more I've thought about it, the more I'm sort of going back towards my idea of having the lines at that end and then the station at this end. And the reason for that really was, when this gets in position, you will view it from this angle at the front, and I thought it'd be nice to see the station area in quite a bit of detail. And also that's the only 1 foot wide at that point, and I thought it might just be a bit of a squeeze trying to get all of that in, you know, a 4-line 2-level split level station, all in that short space. And of course that would actually push all of this lot a bit further to this end, whereas I really wanted the river feature at that end. So thanks very much to everyone who gave me their idea on that. By all means, let me know if you've got any more thoughts on it in the comments below, but yeah, I'm kind of swaying towards that idea just at the moment. So yeah, there's how it looks at the moment. The idea is, once I've got this plan idea in my head, then I will be building, I'll be splitting this module down. So this is one module, it's called the river runs through it module effectively, and I will be splitting that into 2. So I'll be building it in 2 separate stages. So the split will run down the middle here. So one project will be the station building here, and the higher level at the back with the river going in between and coming off this way somewhere. And then the other one will be this half of it. So I'll have the 2 lines, which I'll clarify in a moment, that are going to come in from that junction, and then we're going to have a further line crossing over here to go to the Peak District. So yeah, I'll get those other lines laid so that you can see how it fits in. So yeah, that's the main line, and now I'm going to bring in the more suburban higher level quarry line. Bye for now. Okay guys, welcome back. So basically I'll do this in stages, and it'll just really help to give you an idea, hopefully visually, in a way that getting track down does. That's often a lot easier than actually just trying to demonstrate it in a written plan, albeit that's very good. So yeah, basically you've got the 2 lines, the higher level branch lines running off the back. They will form a loop, all of these anyway, so the idea is I'll have 4 running lines altogether. So the 2 that run along the back there are going to be higher level than the first 2. And the idea, the initial idea anyway, is the 2 of them are going to go together there. So with the idea that in the imaginary world, just out of sight, those lines are perhaps going to go down to a level where there would be a junction where the 2 could link together. So that should make for quite an interesting feature, because you're going to have the 2 raised ones going into there, and then the 2 at the back are going to be higher level, so it kind of gives the option of some kind of retaining wall to start off with, merging into an embankment. And also what I wanted to do there is simulate some higher ground, so the whole thing is going to go into some kind of cutting as well. So the embankments are going to run out from here and from there, albeit that back one's going to be at the higher level. So yeah, that should be an interesting feature, and it should help as well for building the non-scenic boards at the back, where all of those lines are going to be integrated quite nicely. I will bring you back for the next little update. Bye for now. Okay guys, welcome back. So yeah, as you see, you have to use your imagination here due to sort of current bit of a shortage of track that I've got. But it's not going to matter really, because I'm going to be doing these in 2 stages, and probably going to be using fine scale track anyway at some point, so it's just really for working it out visually. But yeah, borrowed some track from the station over there and from the other side over there. I've not worked out at this end whether this line will fully be on display. It is very straight for quite a long period. I may kind of cover that behind some back scene, etc., just at this end. I'm not sure yet. But the idea is, what I wanted to do here is have a junction over here. So yeah, we're looking up, so the two split levels in the distance over to the left. Obviously this junction, I'd have it so I'd have a point here as well, so it can feed both the up and the down line. But the idea is, as I say, this back area is higher level. We're going to have a junction going off over there, which will go over towards the peak forest, and that's going to cross those two lines, and also it's going to cross the river in a similar, I'm not doing an exact prototype, but it will be a similar way to that bridge, that River Mersey crossing bridges that we looked at in that first Scenic Inspiration video. So yeah, wanted really nice flowing curves going on. And then really at this end as well, I think that's going to make a good feature. And my idea is that potentially I'll build the infrastructure at this point anyway, I think, as if it was double lines. So, you know, it's an example of how the railways were reduced a lot with beaching, etc. So I'd have the infrastructure for two lines over there, but the idea is that it no longer forms passenger traffic. It's purely that line that's going off there is one of the lines that goes off to service the quarries, the Peak District quarries. So I can run those nice class 66s with the quarry trains going off there. The other thing is, potentially, bear in mind this now is going to be a higher level embankment than the one over there. So it's going to be the same height as the one at the back. So my idea was, I'm a bit undecided as to whether I'm going to leave that curve in, or whether I'm going to make some kind of high ground here. So maybe it goes into a tunnel at this stage with high ground. So the idea is really that it gives the impression, just get back around here again, gives the impression that quarry line goes off significantly curving to the right, whereas for practicality, I want it to go off that board at the very end rather than off the board at the side, because that's just going to help it integrate into the next module a bit better. It will be going in the loft eventually, this layout, and the other modules I'm going to be building, for people who aren't aware, I'm going to be building a preservation line, a city or town scene again, and also a DRS traction maintenance depot. So the chances are I'll have Scenic breaks at the end of these modules, and then I'll have maybe another two to go like lengthways of on a loft. So yeah, that's the idea behind those. So yeah, just wanted to think of how I'm going to integrate them to the other boards basically. So I have nice standard easy straight joins at the end of each board. What was the other thing I was going to say? So yeah, it's gone. But yeah, I'll have a think and bring you back in a moment. Bye for now. Okay guys, just two things while I think on. Operationally, I said in the original video, please check that one out if you've not seen it already, the big idea or the plan for what I wanted to do. And one of the things that I wanted to use is a system of using passing loops as much as possible, so that I can keep as many trains on display where the scene merits it. So obviously if I'm on that Peak District rural view, it will be probably just one line that's exposed at that point. When I come to the town city landscape, then I want really quite a few lines all merging together, as you would see on the approach into Manchester Piccadilly, for example. So yeah, operationally I wanted to use passing loops. Now effectively that line that goes off there to the quarry line, that one that goes off to the right, that will form a passing loop from that line. So you've got the one line going down there, the other line going off to the side. So that would provide storage for one train whilst one is operationally running around the loops. So yeah, that would form one very large passing loop basically. Okay guys, yeah, the other thing I was just thinking about as well is I want a means of using a gradient to transfer trains between the two different heights, the two different track bed levels of these two different lines. I wasn't particularly bothered about making a feature of that. It's more just a functional thing so I can transfer trains. So my idea behind that, just for use of space, was to actually have that running around the back of a back scene. So basically it'll run down the back of here. So we'll have plenty of room for the, well, you'll have basically, this is 8 foot long, so there'll be 16 foot there to play with, just on one of the straights for the two of the modules that are going to be on this side. So yeah, that should give us plenty of room to get a nice gradient in. That will hopefully all the trains will be okay, but obviously we'll give that a good testing first of all. So the next question is, obviously this is the first module, but I'm going to build it in 2 halves down that split down the middle. And the question is which one to go at first. So this one is going to be the station around here, or it's going to be part of a station going into a scenic break. And then with the lines at the back that are going to disappear at some point after that junction. And then the other one, of course, is here. This is going to be the feature with the bridges and the way that they cross the river as well, and those 2 different track heights and retaining wall at the back. And this is going to be a kind of a, not completely rural, but suburban green belt rural, coming into a reasonably sized station here. So yeah, I think probably I'm going to be building this section first with the bridges, because I think that's going to be a really interesting one to have a go at first. And the other thing is, as you see, it doesn't really involve any points, so we're not going to be restricted on the build for that really at the moment. Okay guys, so the next stage, what I want to do is, as you see, I've kind of marked out, if you can just see there in pencil, the rough outline of where that track is going to go. Okay, that's going to help me cutting out afterwards. It doesn't need to be exact at this stage, it just needs to give us an idea of where those lines are going to go, because we're going to be making embankments and stuff with that as well. But what I really wanted to do now is put everything on that side away, and then on this side I'm going to get some more battens, measure them to 3 foot, probably quite narrow battens. And basically what I'm going to be doing is, just whilst I'm working on this, it's going to make it a lot easier to have the 1 foot by 4 foot piece and the 2 foot by 4 foot piece semi-permanently fixed, so as in screwed together whilst I build all of this lot around it, but not glued, because obviously I need to be able to split them again to get them into a loft hatch, a standard kind of size loft hatch. But certainly for building everything so that we've got everything, the levels all are very exact and correct, I want to make this one complete section for now. So that's what I'm going to do now, and I'll bring you back in a bit. Bye for now. Okay guys, outdoor Paul here, handed over from indoor Paul. Yeah, so what have we got? Toolbox, basically the battening wood that I'm going to be using. And it's just a case of just showing you these images of how I quickly marked out the wood. So I wanted 2 3 foot pieces to connect those 2 modules, the 1 foot and the 2 foot. So it's just a case of marking it out. And then of course just getting a neat edge really with the square. So yeah, mark that out. Marked out the other one at 6 foot, so I could just do the 2 cuts both together really. It was just a case of sawing through it, hand sawed it, easy enough really to do outside just with these small pieces. Okay guys, welcome back. So basically I've just been outside and I've sawed 2 3 foot pieces, and they are going to be our temporary securing pieces. You'll see the batten frame that I made last time, that's going to be secured as well. So yeah, that was going to be the we're going to be able to build up that kind of vertical extent with that. And again, that once it's cut into its various pieces will be raised up here. Okay guys, so this one should show a little bit more visually what my plan is for this first half of the module. Okay, so we've got the 3 foot piece that we've cut running along the bottom. So this baseboard here is going to be secured to that, and the frame is going to be secured to that also. As you can see, that raises it off the ground slightly there. I've done the same at the back. So basically what will happen is this will be secured as well through a screw down here and possibly a couple down there, and that basically means that that module is going to be, or that half module is going to be nice and secure to work on. And then I'm going to have sections coming up through the end up there, and that's going to build the vertical extent. Okay folks, welcome back. Just to give you a quick update on the boards. So basically they're upside down. There's a trestle type frame one there, and then there's the main baseboard. I've just got them upside down. I've marked them out. I've measured the 9mm from the edge and countersunk them. There's one of the countersinks. I'm probably not going to use that middle one really. I think it's going to be sufficient for one there, and then one central to the other part. So yeah, now it's just going to be a case of securing this one on. Obviously there's a bit of a height difference, so on the unlikely event that Gordon Ramsay or Jamie Oliver are watching, then their books have come in most useful on this occasion, just to making up that difference. Only joking, gents. So there we go. So it's just a case of attaching that now, and then we can turn it upside down and see what we've got. Bye for now. One other thing, I've just used the G-clamps there to make sure I've got everything's nice and tight in before I screw that last one in. Okay folks, so that's completed now. We've turned that the right way up. So we've got the front board there. It's screwed onto the, I don't know if you can see that, the board that runs along the bottom, that piece of battening. The trestle there is, for want of a better word, is actually screwed on this frame, is screwed onto it as well. And from that we can now build up the kind of the raised bed for the back of that once I've worked it all out. And also we've got the basic track bed. I don't know if you can see it there, but that's just marked out where those lines are going to go. So yeah, I'm quite pleased with that really. I've got quite a solid baseboard, and of course that's very easy to dismantle that rear section just through undoing the screws underneath. But in the meantime, whilst I build this this half of the first module, it gives us a nice solid baseboard to work on. I could do a bit more. I could put another screw in here to attach it, but when I've looked underneath, it all seems quite solid really. So I think that's going to be sufficient, and certainly there's not going to be a great deal of weight on here. And whilst I'm working on it, it's all going to be on this nice flat piece, so the weight's nicely spread about. So yeah, quite pleased with that. In the next episode, I'm going to leave it there for now. I'm sure you've had enough of the baseboards for today. But yeah, in the next episode, I'm going to be working at setting the embankments, so building the basic profile for the embankments along there. Remember, this one's going to be a medium one, and then you're going to have the high line and bridge that goes over there. And then we'll start looking at building some of the profile up from here and working out the difference in the two track levels. So we've got stuff like train clearance and everything. So yeah, all that to look forward to. Hopefully this weather will break a bit. It's been absolutely terrible trying to get out there, do a bit of work outside, come back in. As soon as you go out, it starts to shower again. So yeah, pretty rubbish day weather-wise today, but never mind. At least I've got a bit done. Next episode, we'll look at those things. So if you've enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up or consider subscribing with the notification bell to be kept fully up to date with the full journey. In the meantime, bye from me, and take care, look after yourselves, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye for now.